If you could even guess the nature of this castle's secret, you would get down on your knees and thank God it was not yours. These are the parting words of Claude Bowes-Lyon, the 13th Earl of Strathmore. The mysteries of his castle, and many like it, will be revealed tonight on this episode of The Twisted 10.
Welcome to another episode of The Twisted 10.
What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Got a full house tonight. Ron sitting over in the chair, Josh sitting over on the couch, and your boy Adam sitting with a cup, or a glass, I should say, of something that Ron brought into the studio tonight that I'm already going to have to refill. Before the show started, I almost finished my fucking glass. He brought in, and this is not a plug for this company at all, they aren't paying us, but he brought in a bottle of Evan Williams honey bourbon.
Man, but if you want to pay us, Evan Williams.
Dude, if we got Evan Williams money
You
up
could
in
just
here.
Pay us in bottles.
Pay us in bottles. We'll take it.
But I love, you got to tell the story behind the bottle, though, because it's a neat story.
It's a neat. So, story behind the story on that. The only reason I even took an interest in bourbon, if anybody wants to go back, if you haven't listened to the 10 Reasons to Drink Bourbon from Dan Lin when he came in and did that kind of started piquing my interest in bourbon, and I started to realize, hey, maybe I like bourbon. Then I decided, I'm going to pick up a bottle. It's been a long week, tough week. Got through it, closed some loans, kicked ass, and I decided I'm going to go pick up a bottle, $13.99 bottle of bourbon, and then I have my work shirt on because I'm, I had left it on even though I went out to dinner after that. I just didn't change it. And this guy's like, hey, you do refis? I'm like, yeah, sure, cool. Here's my number. Call me Monday. I call him. It was like, so that $13.99 bottle made me like some good juicy cash.
Nice, dude.
Way more than the $13.99.
So the best $13.99 investment you've ever made?
Definitely.
What's the wife think? Did you tell her that story?
Oh, yeah.
She loves it, I bet. That's
yeah,
awesome.
of course.
She wants you to go get bourbon every week now at this
Probably not, but that's okay.
point. No, that's
She wants me to probably just walk into there and walk around.
with the shirt on.
Yeah, with the shirt on,
Yeah.
like pointing to it, scratching my chest.
That's cool though, man. That's cool. Yeah, Dan's episode, that one's got a lot of listens too. That was one of my top 10 lists. It's just because the nature of the show was good because we had, an opportunity to sample all sorts of different whiskeys, bourbons, etc. But Dan did a fucking great job hosting. He came. If you're a listener or even a friend of the show and you're considering coming on board, because we have some people lined up in the future that are going to come on board, hard to say. Listen to Dan's episode because he brought it. He brought how to. I see what you did. He brought how to host as a guest on the Twisted 10. He really, really did. He nailed it to a T. So do exactly what he did. Be as creative as he was, because that was fucking stellar.
And the best part about Dan's list, really, he delivered, but he did something that he gives a shit about.
You heard the passion, yeah.
Yeah, and that really showed through. He didn't like, if you're someone we're working on, he has a digital marketing company, someone we're trying to get on the show. But when he was asking, what should he do? I said, do whatever the fuck you want, man. Like, you don't have to do something about the internet. Nobody, like, I'm going to be honest, like, unless they need your services, like 10 techniques to build a better website is not going to, it's like, step out, do something you care about. I want to hear what you give a shit about.
And then plug your business while you're on it.
No,
yeah,
of course. Yeah. He'll,
I like to say that this show is a stepping stone for stardom. All right, we have another former host.
So when's it going to be our stepping stone?
That's not in the formula, Ron. It doesn't work that way. But we have another former guest host of the show who, after her show, granted this was like 3 years ago, but after her show, she now has her own show. I think it's We. I think it's on Women's
TV?
Entertainment.
Yeah,
I think
know
so.
what channel she's on.
I might be butchering the name of the show, but or the name of the what is it called? The
Channel.
There's another network.
There you go. That sounds better.
It might not be We. Anyway, T.S. Madison has her very own like 1 hour show every week, and hey, good. And I think, and I claim It's 100% because of her guest spot on This Was the Tech.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm sure she would say the same.
Yeah, go watch it.
She's never responded to an email since, so maybe not. I've tried. I wanted her back again, but nah, she's too big for us now. Yeah. Big in the celebrity sense.
Yeah, I knew exactly what you meant.
Speaking of celebrity, do you know what the ASA is?
ASA?
Yeah.
I feel like I should.
It's the Advertising Standards Association. It's a UK-based company, but it's an international standards company. So they set like the bar for thresholds of what certain numbers of followers should deem for a hosting platform or an individual. And I just want you guys to know that my son's YouTube channel, he is now officially a celebrity, according to the ASA. He crossed 30,000 subscribers, and I couldn't be more proud of the kid.
That's awesome.
He's doing fucking gangbusters on that and making more money than I could imagine at his age. Not that it's a lot, but I mean, it's a lot for a 17-year-old.
I can sure as hell tell you that if I was making money on a YouTube channel at 17, I would not have started my career.
Exactly.
Not a fucking chance.
Yeah.
So he's smart about that. He is angling his career path in the future to understand that he has to have something to back it up. So he's taking his two Adobe certifications, turning them into 4 here soon to get there's a 4 certification package you get from Adobe, and then he's going to transition that into video editing and After Effects and all these different tools that he can use to become a real serious editor of any kind of film. So that's what he wants to do at this point in his life.
That's cool.
At 17, I didn't know if I wanted to be a marine biologist, dude. I never knew I was going to be an IT guy. So I'm sure it will change several times between now and then. But
man, if he's got the start though, that's what matters.
He's doing
more than almost anything. He's doing
amazing. Hey, Ron, can I get some more of that? Can I get some more of that Evan Williams? You care if I hop over there?
Yeah, go for it.
I can't not keep sipping this because it's too good. The interesting thing,
sweet.
When you're up, pour a little in my cup there, boy.
Bourbon, whiskey, and scotch. While they're all forms of whiskey, it's interesting. Like the bourbon is the sweeter end. The whiskey is dead in the middle. Well, got some sweet, got some sharp, but the scotch is usually the drier and sharper end of the spectrum of whiskeys.
Well, scotch is just really whiskey made in Scotland. And bourbon is 51% or more corn. So 51% or more corn makes it bourbon. Yeah, I've been doing a little research lately, ladies and gentlemen.
All scotches are whiskey, but not all whiskeys are scotches. I think that goes for bourbon. All bourbons are
all bourbons are whiskey,
but not all whiskeys are bourbon.
Yeah, because you need 51% corn, and that's what puts it over to a bourbon from.
I'm going to get up and pour us some more Evan Williams.
But they're made nearly the same way. Just the mash is different. Yeah, the wash. Oh my God, all these fancy words.
It's
You'd think I had a little moonshine distillery. Okay, that's
you guys listening. It's
pussy. That's a good pour.
No, that was great. What are you talking about? Go ahead. I'm
still 2 fingers.
Yeah,
that's all you can ask. I'm okay. I have to host. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I spoiled it.
Oh, you blew it.
I did blow it. I cannot keep drinking
because she said.
Because I'll ruin other parts of my list if I keep drinking.
That's all you've ruined so far is that it's your list. It's okay.
Well, cat's out of the bag. Ron, I guess you and I are hosting tonight. We were going to kick back and get drunk on some Evan Williams.
Did you bring some moonshine?
No. In fact,
what is moonshine? Well, let's ask that. What is your definition of moonshine?
I don't think it's a particular. I mean, I think it does have a certain ingredient that's in all of moonshine. However, I think it's potatoes. But it's
that's actually vodka. But that's okay.
Vodka?
Go ahead.
I think
I'm telling you, my alcohol knowledge has zoomed up lately.
I think moonshine isn't the alcohol itself. It's the process to acquire the alcohol, right?
There's a different
because you can use peaches, you can use all sorts of different stuff.
Moonshine has a bunch. A lot of times people equate moonshine to their own kind of personal thought process, but mostly if you read what moonshine is, it's a couple things. It's say whiskey or bourbon, but not aged. I mean, you literally just made the mash, made the wash, and put it in a jar and just drank it.
So it's straight alcohol.
Exactly. And then another thing is that people consider moonshine is it was made at home by some dude in his garage or a barn or Andy. Oh, Andy, we got the moonshine. We gotta catch him.
We have a past listener, past guest host too, that used to make his own moonshine. He brought it up to our other podcast, Living Podcariously 777 event we did. He brought us up a couple jars of moonshine.
So depending on how
It's good too. He did a good job.
depending on the ingredients he used to make that moonshine, he literally could take that moonshine, throw it in an oak barrel for a couple of years, and he's got either whiskey or bourbon.
That's
But
cool.
somebody might still consider it moonshine because it was made in his garage or his barn or something.
I think he made it in his meth lab. I think.
or in his methanol lab. All right, that's enough alcohol.
Can
talk.
you possibly find a segue between our wild tangent of topics right there into your episode tonight?
I think I can.
All right.
Let me cogitate on this a little bit.
Cogitate.
Good word.
Damn, dude.
Cogitate. I like
I
it.
like that.
Did you bring that word preloaded? Say, I'm going
Wait
to
a minute.
cogitate tonight.
Wait a minute. Hey, hold the farm. You motherfucker.
I know where you're going.
So you will challenge me for a word like surreptitiously, which is very common. That's more common than cogitate. Yeah, you didn't challenge Josh for cogitate. You didn't say that's not a word. What the?
I've learned I don't challenge smart people on words.
What the fuck? No, I'm not smart. I see the pecking order here.
Burn.
I see the pecking. I understand now. I'm just gonna drink. I'm gonna drink I'm gonna empty that fucking bottle.
That's cool. Empty it out, man. Empty it out.
I'll show you.
All right, I got it. I found it.
you.
All right, cool.
So,
Cogitate.
it is illegal to make your own home alcohol in most of the country. I'm sorry, to distill your own alcohol in most of the country and largely in the world because the equipment is kind of prone to failure and explosion and causing a lot of damage. Much like the water heater at my house that just blew up this week. I've been dealing with that.
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yep.
You had your septic issues.
Still having that. They come out Monday to take the deposit. And then, fortunately, all things considered, it's pretty minor, but it started leaking. Margaret caught it. My wife caught it in the morning, and it had leaked. It started at some point overnight, so it wasn't terrible, but it shares a wall with the guest room because it's inside the house, not in our garage because we don't have a garage. So it shares a wall with the guest bedroom. It leaked underneath that wall, and that carpet was soaked in like half the room. Fortunately, we caught it early. And it's kind of bittersweet, but it's on an exterior wall, and a bunch of the water leaked outside too, which is concerning in its own way, but it saved the inside of the house. So that's cool. But so they came out very quick. We called insurance. They got water mitigation on site. It's the carpet is good. We lost the underlayment, the padding in half of that room.
That's
Other
not
than
too expensive. That's not too bad.
Is your list like top 10 brands of water heaters or
It
something?
is.
That
So
that is
we're going to start
exciting.
talking.
I need more whiskey.
So it's good. The baseboards are gone. Those are getting replaced, but insurance covered the whole thing. The water mitigation company.
Oh, that's good.
They better just
should
for
say
as
it
much
also-
as you pay for insurance.
You
Josh.
should say something happened and it also fucked up your septic system.
I asked jokingly the insurance adjuster. I was like, "Is there any way we can tie this into my septic collapsing?" He's no, no.
So you tried to commit insurance fraud with the insurance.
He's joking. He said joking.
Look, if he's in on it, then it's not fraud. It's just
It's
his
still
bad
fraud.
paperwork. Yes,
Just
you're right.
insider
It's only fraud
He
if you
was-
get caught.
Yeah.
No, he was a good guy. We had a laugh over it, but it's but fortunately, our water heater, it's in its own little its own little room off our hallway. I guess, would you call that a room? I don't know, that little
Cubby?
closet.
Yeah.
I don't know, but if you were to just look past it, it just looks like a door to a regular room. You'd never guess that it's maybe a secret purpose room. See, I did it. I told my own story. I found a segue. I had to come up with two to get there.
Ooh.
Tonight, we are talking about secret rooms, secret spaces in
Fuck
houses, in businesses, from all over the world. So I found some really, really badass secret
That's awesome.
spaces to
Just,
talk about.
just so you know, to tie into your list, the same guy who's redoing mine and Andrea's kitchen is putting in a Murphy cabinet for our entrance into the studio. I was going to surprise you with that, but because this is the topic of your show, we're putting in a hidden door Murphy cabinet that opens up as a door to come down here. It's going to look like there's a regular wall cabinet there, and it's going to be
That
secret.
sounds like a fine use of money.
Secret entrance into. It's a solid point. I see where you're going with
No,
it.
don't pay attention to me. I'm boring, dude. Please.
It's only like $1,000. It's not that bad.
Only $1,000. Get it.
I mean, that's a lot for me, but it's not as bad as it could be. Fuck, Ron's all against me tonight.
It's all right. I'll take it. Like he's dishing it back out.
You're supposed to not like Josh most of the time. What the hell? What's going on?
So, in the course of researching secret rooms, secret spaces, I came across a little interesting fact. The oldest known secret tunnels and secret rooms that we know what they were for. So there is older believed secret spaces and rooms, tunnels, service tunnels, things like that. But the oldest known secret tunnels are in the pyramids in Egypt, which is no surprise. They had all their chambers. It was just a way for servants after the emperors were interred. I think that's still a term for a pyramid, but as they were interred, they would go in and they would service the burial chamber.
They were in turds.
They were interred.
It's all about the emphasis on the syllable.
On the syllable.
Instead of interred,
they entered.
They were entered.
They were entered.
Yeah. You see what I mean there?
Oh man,
Cleopatra.
Maybe we should stop drinking.
So I think our listeners will appreciate this. Is our drunk. You know what? Not every, but a lot of major podcasts do a drunk as fuck episode. I think we might be there because there's another bottle of whiskey sitting right
We
beside
still have
that one.
a half bottle of Angel Envy. Angel Envy. No,
We're
there's
getting drunk
us.
tonight, boys.
Anal's envy.
Anal Envy.
All right, sorry, Josh.
No, you're good.
Tangented you. It's gonna be a rough night.
It's good. I'm excited. So
I'm so glad
some of these
Josh's list because he has all the patience for that.
All right, so tonight's list is some of it's kind of creepy, some of it's just generally fascinating, some of it's kind of boring history. Well, not boring to me, but some history stuff. But you guys ready?
Can I quickly ask you, how did
he's
this
not ready.
even
No,
pop into
not.
your head? Like to do a list, because this is a really, really awesome idea for a list. I would have probably, if we had done the show 50 years, I'd never come up with this.
I don't really know where it came from. I have, and I know you guys keep the same thing on my list of list ideas. I was scrolling through it and I just came across secret rooms.
So
I don't know why I wrote it.
So you had conceived of it before.
Yeah, this idea probably hit me a year ago, back when I originally, right when we were doing the reboot. Hey, by the way, that was a year ago.
Was it really?
When we started not releasing. We released in August. That's when we started releasing.
That started the conversation on the reboot?
We started behind the scenes rebooting February of 2020.
That's cool.
Yep. And that was
So COVID was our fault. Got it.
That's fine. That's not fine. That would be an awful thing to be responsible for. But number 10.
Oh, number 10.
Done.
Damn, that's a throwback to Jay Alvarez.
So number 10 is Joshua's room. And I didn't put this one first because it's my name.
Like your room?
Yeah, it's my room.
I've seen your room.
When I close the door, I call it the secret room. Margaret hates it, but no, it's
Is it the red room?
It is. So Joshua's room. This story, it is all the details I have came from the Sun, UK publication, but it was some British citizens that were looking for a house somewhere in the U.S. I couldn't find where it was. Somewhere in the U.S. So they went trying to buy a house, and it's an older house. They lined up with their agent. They get there, and they're walking around the house. Otherwise, very nice, older architecture, but they liked the house. But they noticed that in the front of the stairs, the front face of the stair, there was holes punched through, and it was just dark on the other side. And didn't initially think anything of it, and they asked their agent, "Hey, is that like under stair storage or something? It's whatever. What are the holes under the stairs for?" And the agent didn't really know, so like, let's just find the door. Let's take a look. And they couldn't find the door, so they had to come back. They looked a little bit. They found where the entrance was at, and they came back so they could see the rest of the house.
Like pull the floor plans or something?
Yeah, I don't know exactly how they found the plan. They found the entrance to this secret space, and what they found was, as described by the potential buyers who did not buy, as haunting. They found a very, very small room that was under the stairs, with nothing but a bed, and there was just like empty cans of food and stuff underneath there. But that's not what made it scary. What made it scary was all the writing on the walls. There was a list of rules, and the list included a few things. First, no watching Isaiah through the hole. Second, no writing or drawing on the walls. Third,
Wait, this was written on the wall?
this was written on the walls.
Nice.
Yeah, and there's pictures of it. It's faded, but it was very legible. So obviously written by not a child, written by an adult of some sort. Josh, stop reading this and go to bed. All caps, Mom.
Damn.
Don't climb into my room, Isaiah. And then written many times on all of the walls was stop watching me. No story, no history, no record of 2 kids living in this house. Nothing.
I thought you were going to go a different direction with that. I thought written on the walls were going to be the rules of Hogwarts. Get it? Under the stairs, Harry Potter.
Or Fight Club rules. First rule of Fight Club.
Don't talk about Fight
We
Club.
don't talk about Fight Club.
What's the second rule?
Don't talk about Fight Club.
What's the third rule?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't remember. Nobody ever remembers the third rule. Make soap into bombs.
It's your first night here. You have to fight.
Oh, yeah. All right, cool.
Don't ask me the rest of the rules. That's where my trivia ends. So, yes.
Damn, creepy as
Yeah.
fuck. How big were the holes in the stairs? Like, big enough to, like...
I found...
Was it, like, just perfect size for 2 little eyes to be sticking out of?
There-
Was it glory holes in the stairs?
There was...
You're walking upstairs like a kid. There's too many dicks.
Too many dicks in the stairs. They were not... there were none that were close enough to be like eye holes if you were to go close to it. They were, as best I could tell, at maybe an inch across at the biggest. They were varying sizes on different stairs.
Your dick would fit, Ron.
Yeah, your dick would be fine.
Could fit 2 of my dicks in there.
So yes, we're kicking the
balls.
list off tonight with a little bit of creep factor.
Creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Did they ever, so there's no additional follow-up to the story, they didn't like look up past owners and contact those people or see if there was a Josh in their family maybe?
I tried just from personal interest. I was like, it has my name. I have to have as many details as possible.
Pull up the history
Because
of
they're
the
gonna-
like records
Nothing.
of the building.
I couldn't find the town it was in. I couldn't find an
Oh.
address. I couldn't find anything.
Damn.
So
dude.
no other details. There's a bunch of pictures though. I will get you guys. I guess throw in the show notes, put on Discord something. But I have a link. To most of these, I have links to different
Sweet.
pictures and articles and stuff.
By the way, listener, if you're not already on it, hop on our Discord. Go to twistedten.com. At the bottom is a Discord link. Click that. It's free to hop into. We even broadcast the shows live, so you'll get them a couple weeks early. We broadcast them live in Discord as well. So
When we
check
can
that
make it
out.
work.
And then, of course, for our Patreons, we'll say thank you at the end of the show, too. But thank you very much, Patreons. Patreon.com/twistedten. You guys know who you are. You help keep the lights on in here.
I actually have a listener email that
sweet.
we got while we were recording the show just now that I'll read on the
Cool.
Patreon.
Oh, sweet.
Nice. Yeah, no, thank you for that. I completely glossed over doing that. I was so hyped after I blew out that I was hosting.
Blame it on Evan Williams.
Oh, yeah, I like that. Blame it on the alcohol.
Blame it on the alcohol. Oh, sorry.
Who sings that?
Let them sing it.
Let's keep it
Yeah,
that way.
let's keep it that way. Yeah, I've heard them all. Ass.
Apparently not cogitator. What
What
did you
was
say?
that?
Cogitate.
Cogitate? What does that mean exactly?
It's a term generally describing long thought out process.
Oh God, I'm gonna say it for Jackie. It's gonna my wife. It's gonna piss her off so much.
Quit cogitating. Quit cogitating,
Allow me
old
to.
man.
I'm gonna say something. She's gonna ask me a question. I'm like, allow me to cogitate on that for a moment.
Mansplain it to her.
Man, totally mansplaining. After I man straight.
All right. Number 9.
9.
Number 9, another domestic entry. This one comes from New York. This is a castle in New York. It's called Singer Castle. And like most, it's older and it's a proper castle. I mean, it's a full-size castle.
A proper castle.
It is. I mean, there's like
It's a proper
there's
castle.
like outposts that are big stone structures, and then there's like this is a proper castle. It's very old.
So in the state, not like the city. Not
Correct.
Not
Not, it's not New York City.
So it's a castle where you have to like all the forks and knives have to be in the right spot and everything. You have to be very proper. God, that was
Pinky
so
up.
horrible. I think I might cut that part out. That was a horrible joke. Pinky up castle.
So Singer Castle
Josh
has
is
got
like, fuck you, Ron. I'm just skimming right
go
by
right
what you
past
said.
it.
It's because he's not keeping up with us drinking.
No.
That's what it is. So Singer Castle is on an island. So I guess it's either on the lakes or it's oceanside. I'm not sure. But they have, it's got necessary castle things, ballrooms, dining rooms, big, nice, pretty, gorgeous entryway, a dungeon as you need in your castle.
Fuck, yeah.
But it
Does
has
it have a moat?
it's on an island.
It's an island,
Oh,
so
okay,
yes.
so yeah, literally, really giant moat.
Nature took care of the moat for him.
Okay.
But it has like cartoon level secrets in the castle. It has service tunnels or service passageways. Those are less surprising in a castle. You want your servants, in the walls unseen, that kind of mentality. But they
You
have
want your peasants in the walls, or your servants I said peasants. You want your servants in the walls?
Well, yeah, I mean
that's
that's
an odd statement.
It is.
You're right.
Yeah, by
but
today's
it's an
standards,
odd
it's a weird thing.
statement
But yeah,
to
it's.
say. I mean, I keep my servants in the garage at least.
In the crawl space. By the way, you didn't put that panel back on.
Creeping you out.
Yeah, seriously, I was just thinking that. God, I wish you put that panel back on. This conversation's like look over there.
I'm gonna time it just right where one of these episodes I'm gonna like have a spring-loaded dummy that pops out of that thing just to fucking freak
I
you
would
guys out.
shit
I will.
my
Yeah,
pants.
100%. 100%.
Shit, I will.
I'm
You know
borrowing
what?
some shorts to
From
go
now, from now on, I'm going to bring an extra pair of pants just because you said that.
Oh.
But the reason Singer Castle made it on the list, and it doesn't do much justice without pictures, but in the dining halls and in the ballrooms, they have pictures that have on what would be, I'll call them like the second floor. It's above ground level for these rooms. In these tunnels, they have pictures that you can pull back a face to like spy in on your guests and listen in on your guests. And they have listening holes around the rooms, and they would have servants and staff spy on guests as they would come in. And the family that was there, obviously very affluent to have a castle on an island, but they would bring people in and they would spy on them while they stay there, and they would watch them while they eat and stuff. Which with any castle like that, it has its own,
It's like
list of.
The eyes that like
Yeah.
you walk by that
100
follow you in the picture.
Yeah, absolutely. It has like face that pulls back, slots that would move over so you could look through canvas into rooms. It's like cartoon level of just trickery built into Singer
Some
Castle.
Scooby-Doo shit in there, man.
Yeah. But it's
Do your Scooby-Doo run. Come on. It's a great Scooby-Doo.
it's good.
Pull in that
good.
sound bite.
Can you say Zoinks? No, that's Shaggy. What was his other catchphrase? What were some of the things? Say something
Scooby-Doo-doo?
Scooby would say.
I don't
Dance, monkey.
I got nothing else. Just the laugh.
That's fair.
I nailed it, so I'll leave it.
It's a good leave on top. It is step away on while you're on top. Yeah,
Yes.
That's a good call.
Yep.
All right. Number 8.
8.
8, Master 8.
So I've actually been to this one on the list. This is the Winchester Mystery House out in California. Have you guys ever heard of it?
Winchester Mystery House?
No.
No.
So are you familiar with Winchester rifles?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Okay, so just a high-level history lesson. Winchester, in the late 1800s, early 1900s, they were one of the most prolific rifle makers in the world. They were one of the most used wartime weapons in the world at the time.
Damn.
I had their first names. Let me see. Maybe I have it here.
Please be like Bob and Earl.
They were. I tried to remember the names. So I have the wife's name, and this story is mostly about her. But the husband in the relationship, he was the owner of the company. He passed away from tuberculosis in 1881, leaving quite the estate to his wife Sarah. She inherited in 1881 $20.5 million.
Oh, in 1881. Holy
1881.
shit.
That's like a billionaire.
That is in 2019 dollars, $543 million.
Whew.
Just
It's
off
a
of
lot.
dollar inflation. Yeah,
It's
so
a lot of money.
she had, and that was the inheritance from him passing. And it's worded that way because going back to the late 1800s, women didn't really have rights like that. So the fact that she was left anything was a big deal in its own right. But then also after that, she continued to receive because of her 50% ownership in the Winchester Repeating Arms Company. Sorry, the Winchester Repeating Arms. She had about $1,000 a day, or in 2019 dollars, $26,000 a day in recurring revenue.
Jesus.
Just from, again, they were like the number one repeating rifle gun manufacturer on the planet at the time.
Holy crap.
So this is where it gets really, really wild. So she used that money. I didn't write down where they lived, but she wanted to get away from where they were. She bought a nice, small, unfinished farmhouse in Santa Clara Valley, modern day San Jose, California.
I think I do know this house now.
It's very, very famous. So this one is, and I went and paid and took a tour. Like it's not, just went and got walked through the Winchester house. But so as the story goes, there's conflicting narrative. Some say that construction went nonstop from the day that she moved in.
I didn't want to steal any of that thunder.
Yes,
I definitely have heard. I've never been there, but I've definitely heard of this house. Until she died, it was always construction.
Fucking weird. So there is disagreeing stories on whether or not it was constant day night all the time. Not to say that her reasonings for building weren't any less wild. There was some very modern features that she built into her house. Steam-based heating for the house in the late 1800s. That shit was driving a Ferrari around. That was like the thing. So she had that. She had indoor plumbing, which was, again, a really big deal in the late 1800s. But she only had, with all of those, with that being run through the house, she had one working interior toilet. It was just her. One working interior shower. Again, just her. The house at its peak was 7 stories tall with an estimated square footage of... Sorry, referencing my notes over here. I didn't write it down.
Like
a 7-story tall mansion. Oh, it's fucking massive. That's how I'm going to describe it. Fucking massive. And when I saw it in modern day time, it's only 4 stories tall. In 1909, there was a pretty bad earthquake, and a lot of the house fell over. But
isn't that house like you see different?
Oh, I'm getting.
Okay,
yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So the house is full of secret spaces, hidden rooms, hidden hallways. And the reason is because Sarah Winchester
from Winchester Tintonville. Movie? Anyone?
Nope.
Winchester Tintonville?
Fletch.
It's Billy Madison. No, Mr. Deeds. That's the fake town that his girlfriend made up that she was from. So never mind.
So Sarah, in her grief, started to build a little bit of a paranoia and anxiety, and she started having regular seances in the house to get building plans from the spirits of the people who were murdered by her family's weapons, get them layouts for the house so that they could be appeased and have a place to rest. So she went paranoid and burned through a massive amount of her family's fortune with this, if not constant, near constant construction. And this house is fucking weird. There are parts of the house where she lived at. She developed really crazy arthritis later in life, so she had to build on extensions to add in like 2-inch stairs, just very small stairs to help her move around because she couldn't lift her feet very high. So these like really big additions that are just stairs.
It's like a flight of stairs that's like 140 steps to go one story.
Yeah. It is, though. It's like 15 feet in one direction, then you just U-turn and go up another 15 feet. So you can walk up them. They're still good. There are staircases that lead to the ceiling that run to nothing. There's a room where you open a door and it drops 15 feet to a kitchen sink that's downstairs.
That's bizarre.
The house is...
Okay, so nobody, guy, girl, woman, man, regardless of gender, so this isn't an attack against her individually, but this is a generalization I want to make about this. All right, so let's say Mr. Remington.
Winchester.
That's what I meant. Guns.
Smith and
guns
Wesson.
are guns. Mr. Winchester was writing his what is it? Your last will and statement and having his attorney prepare it. And his attorney looks at it and he sees that he's going to be leaving this equivalent of $500 million to his wife to be in complete control of. That level of crazy, usually, unless from some trauma or from some injury or something like that, that level of crazy doesn't just happen.
Show up.
The attorney's fucking job at that point is to go, are you sure?
Wait a second.
Let's think about this for a minute. She's going to do some crazy shit with his money. You know that. You've got a lot more family to consider here. Is this really what you want to do with all of the fortunes that you've accumulated at this point? So
Oh yeah.
You know that the family was probably pissed off that they left it with old batshit crazy Sarah to do this kind of chaos.
I bet she was, when he signed that, she used to be hot. She was hot at the time he put it together.
I mean, one of the richest men in the world, I would imagine you're probably right.
Like
about
that crazy hot scale that you've seen online.
Oh, she's peaking on the crazy.
Yeah.
So that means she's peaking.
You know what
she
I'm
was
talking
probably
about,
peaking on the
right?
hot.
I know exactly what you're talking
And
about.
then the guy who says like, "Oh, I found the girl. She's so hot and she's so cool and mellow." And he's like, "Well, that's a dude."
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to side rail. But you know that
good.
she had to have had some crazy.
Oh yeah,
before this.
you don't something like this. Like, if nothing else, it was repressed incredibly well, and when she was probably at that point the richest woman on the planet, she said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do whatever I want because I'm really upset with my life right now." So, at least she just decided to build a house instead of bigger guns, I suppose.
It's good to be the best rated carpenter in her town at the time, though. Like,
Yeah.
fucking yes, let's do this.
Do it.
Who wants job security? Sign up here.
But if you are interested, even if you're nowhere else, it's just a really one is just a mark of really kind of odd architecture, but also the grounds themselves are very, very pretty. It's all well manicured and maintained. You can just go to the Winchester Mystery House website, winchestermysteryhouse.com, and get like a virtual tour. You can go see like the big things, those things that I'm talking about, the really particularly odd things, the doors that open to nowhere and doors that open. There's a door on the 3rd floor that just opens to the garden. And it's just a 20-foot fall, just side of the house. So like all kinds of weird shit.
Sounds safe.
But it's as a whole though, it's a really cool piece of just kind of history for that area. And you can see the whole thing online.
So you didn't hit this topic, but aren't multiple parts of the house done in different building aesthetics, like Victorian in certain parts and Mediterranean in some parts and traditional in other, I mean, just very, for the time, of course, but very different styles that are all throughout the whole thing too.
Yes. And that's
cool.
Loosely attributed to
her being batshit crazy.
Her being batshit crazy, but she attributed it to the spirits that fell were from those regions. So when she would commune with someone from the Mediterranean, they would say, guide it in this way. And
why didn't she just build like what's the park over in Orlando where they have all the different countries represented?
Epcot.
Why didn't she just build an Epcot?
She kind of did. In her house.
I guess it's a good point.
Everything but the big
Epcot
gold golf
ghosts.
ball was missing. Or there.
That's cool. That's a fun place. I'm going to go check that out.
And if I think about it too, I can show you guys, but I was a teenager at the time. I think my parents have them, but we had a lot of like really cool pictures. And if this would be
just for the sake of having a teenage picture of Josh up on our Discord,
dude,
do it.
I was a goofy looking motherfucker.
We all were teenagers, dude.
But I had like beyond like below shoulder length hair. Actually, I don't think I did.
I had a fucking mullet.
Maybe
Josh had one of the most interesting things I've ever seen from one of his pictures as a teenager.
Oh, you're talking about my finger armor?
Josh had a pinky armor that he would wear as a teenager that I saw a picture of.
Timeouts. I wore it for pictures. I didn't wear it around because that's fucking weird.
You wore it regardless.
I did wear it.
Was it Halloween? Because otherwise, you wore it.
I did wear it. No, it was a gift. I know exactly what picture you're talking about. That was like one of the first pictures I ever photoshopped too. That was
photoshopped. Did you Photoshop the pinky armor out?
No.
He photoshopped somebody else in there.
I needed a lady to justify it's. No, I was I was all in black eyeliner, black clothes. Listened to just. Like Cradle of Filth,
Depeche Mode.
That's a little too old for Josh, I think. For him, one of the most like crazy alternative bands was like Green Day.
Green Day.
Hey man,
I'm kidding.
Old underground Green Day is pretty punk.
They've kind of gone the opposite direction.
They're doing
like Broadway now.
Yeah, good for them, man. They're artists, so I'm glad they're enjoying it. Yeah.
For my taste, I don't like it. No. However, for their day, more power to them. Do what you think is fun, and you like it.
Yeah, they made their money.
Yeah.
And
all right, so that was number 8, the Winchester Mystery House.
Nice.
Number 7.
Number 7
is called the Murder Castle.
Oh.
It is, here's a little backstory from Wikipedia on it, but in 1889, Herman W. Mudgett built a hotel in Chicago in anticipation of the huge tourist boom that was expected with the upcoming 1893 World's Fair. However, instead of a conventional hotel, Mudgett built a weird mystery funhouse with trapdoors, hidden stairways, and surprise chutes to the basement. It turned out that Herman W. Mudgett was the real name of H.H. Holmes, America's first famous serial killer.
This is a straight serial killer's house. Yes.
Nice.
All the true crime stories or podcasts that are out there have done stories on H.H. Holmes. So yeah, this is cool. This is a fucking awesome list.
This is a good one. So the top floors were used for torture and murder.
Oh, that's all.
And then the chutes were used for disposal.
It's good to know he's organized.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not saying it's right, but I am saying you don't get to the level of owning a mansion in the center of a city
and getting away with
it unless you have some level of just mad genius planning.
Yeah.
Or of course, it's the late 1800s and forensics are still god awful. But either way, he got away with it for a while. He did not completely get away with it, though. One of the murders came out. He was arrested. He confessed to 30 murders, which just landed him execution. He was executed. That's the end of his story.
How did they hang him?
I didn't look.
No, they gave him a one-way ticket into his own murder castle and let him go off to the
and kill himself.
Yeah.
As long as he did it on the right floor.
I'm joking, Adam. I don't know how he died.
But they, in the house, after the raid, they went in, they documented a bunch of stuff. But they discovered secret rooms, false floors, rooms with no escape from the inside. So, cells. Many of those rooms were soundproof. Several of them were also airtight as gas chambers. So
this is like some Saw shit going on right
now.
here.
Yeah.
For real. Real life Saw. The building...
In fact, a lot of people say Saw was themed after the H.H. Holmes mansion. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I've never heard that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, as you say it, it makes me think... I've never actually seen Saw, believe it or not, or any of those movies. Yeah.
Well, you can watch any of them. You can watch 1 through 7, whichever one you want. They're all the same story.
Yeah.
It's just some crazy contraption.
I just don't want to watch
to
some dude saw his leg off. I just have no interest.
That's only the first. The other ones are like screwing something into your head or cutting open your friend because he's got a key to the door that you need to get out.
I don't want to see.
See, that shit. Yeah. I've seen blood in real life. I've seen gore in real life. Sad in its own way.
The presidential candidate? Damn it! You beat me to it, you motherfucker!
No, next time I see him, I need to thank him for the internet, though.
Yes. Nice.
But good invention.
But I watched one of the Saw movies, and I had to leave. It made me nauseous.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it depicts the psychological terror of what's happening so well. At least the early one. This was like the second one that I saw it. But it's
that I saw.
Yeah, it's
They were. It wasn't good enough to laugh, but I
okay. I see what you did there. It wasn't funny, but I see what you did there.
Yes.
But I saw it. But it's
Sorry, I was a dick. You deserve it though.
That was awesome. Yeah, I totally do. Man. Yeah, getting dissed by the non-smart guy in the room, but that's okay.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Wow. So the murder castle eventually burned down, and they built a post office on the grounds, and it still stands there today. They built the post office in 1938.
Well, that's anticlimactic. Damn post office.
Or is it future predictions? Post office, the U.S. Postal Service is going to hell right now. So I don't know. Egg or the chicken?
What's wrong with the U.S. Postal
They're
Service?
losing like $10 billion a year right now.
No, they have been for like a long time.
They blame it on one particular president, but that's okay.
Anyways,
we'll get past that.
Veto.
Yes. Moving
Veto.
on.
So that was the murder castle, number 7.
That's cool.
All right, number 6.
Number 6.
Number 6 is far more lighthearted than anything else that we've talked about. This is the house of an author that I bet we all know, Dan Brown.
Yes. Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci Code.
Oh, okay.
Angels and Demons.
Angels and Demons. He did another one, same vein. He loves that backwards mystery telling. That's his style. But his house, he's very secretive about his house, or secretive isn't the right word. He doesn't have many guests to his house, but his house is full of secret tunnels and passageways and hidden rooms.
That feels like Dan
very
Brownie-ish.
on brand. Yeah. If you're interested, there was I wish I had written it down. I should have. There was a like CBS or something. They brought somebody and they got to do a tour of his house. So you can actually see a quick tour of Dan Brown's house if you just go YouTube search that. He's got one. It's just a gorgeous house, but also he's got some really, really cool stuff in there. He has the room where he writes is hidden behind a secret painting door. So he's got to pull back a painting to get into his secret writing room.
That's super cool.
Is
it a Da Vinci painting?
See what you did there.
It might be.
Again, not funny, but you see what I did.
No, I laughed at that one. That one got a chuckle. I got a dad laugh.
I got a dad laugh. Ha ha. The big horse ha's.
Yes.
The library in the house has several secret passages that lead to other parts of the house. He personally calls his library the Fortress of Gratitude, which I just think is kind of neat. It has every edition of his written works that has been printed, different languages, regional adjustments, things like that.
It's only his own works that are in his library?
His own works in his own library.
Might as well call it a look at me wall. Well, that's pretty
library of me.
Don't get me wrong, he deserves something like that because of how popular he is and his books are. But
all three of them.
So it's a very, very pretentious. So
no, he's written more.
He has written more.
He's only written 3 that anyone gives a shit about.
Okay. I definitely took the same initial response. I was like, how conceited can you get? A fucking library to your own? But then I have a look at me wall. I've got my certificates up on the wall. People have trophies on the wall. Maybe not so weird.
You know what my look at me wall is? The mirror. That's all I got. I at one point in my career I wanted to do that. I'm like, I'm pretty proud of this CompTIA A+ or fuck it. Nobody else cares. I don't care.
No. And the only thing hanging on my wall now is my Lord titles, just so I can remind people when I'm drunk.
That's okay. That's different.
See?
That's a prop.
Everybody loves that.
I mean, it's legit, but that's
Lord
a prop too.
Wilson.
I am Lord Wilson, lest we all forget. I haven't demanded my title in a while, but I am Lord Wilson. But he.
So Ron, all right, hang on. For tonight's episode, the intro needs to be, and you set this to echo when you're editing. Lord Wilson hosts top 10 secret rooms, or not. Cut the
on the next Twisted 10.
On the next Twisted 10.
There's the bumper.
Oh, that's a good call.
But before we get too far away from it, to Dan Brown's defense, his Fortress of Gratitude, he calls it that specifically because when he has a hard time writing, that's where he'll go
for his inspiration
and his motivation to continue doing it.
I like it.
The ephemeral writer's block, a thing that doesn't really exist, is just an excuse for I can't write
more
right
big words,
just
Mr. Wilson.
for you.
Ephemeral's a cool word, though.
Yeah,
it's
a good one.
It's
a good one.
It's almost as good as nebulous.
Yeah,
that's a good
one.
You
just don't want to cut your ephemeral artery. That's bad.
No. Or you'll nebulous all over the floor. No.
So so that's Dan Brown's house. That's number 6.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Pictures of that online, you said?
Yes, absolutely. Beyond pictures, pictures are good, but they did a walkthrough of his house and he shows the library, the Fortress of Gratitude, and he talks about it and the painting into his writing space and stuff.
I feel like there's a joke in that Fortress of Gratitude.
I looked for it earlier.
And I keep trying to find it and I just can't.
I was going to say
my game or something.
That's what I call the bathroom, but I'm not Fortress of Gratitude. I don't gratitude. It's not gratitude in there. It's more like Fortress of Shame in my bathroom.
Fortress of Gratification. I don't know.
Yeah, I was looking for it too. Listeners, if you have a better joke to insert there as a dad joke.
If you have any joke.
Hop on our Discord. Let us know what Fortress of Gratitude could be turned into. The dirtier, the better. And Mr. Wilson, Lord Wilson, will send you and bequeath you part of his kingdom.
Bequeath unto you.
I will bequeath unto you
5 inches of his 7-inch plot of land that he had.
I didn't know where he was going with 5 inches.
You can have.
I'll tell you where I go with 5 inches,
5 inches.
Through the holes in number 10?
The glory holes.
No, it's I will have you know, I have 5 square feet sir.
Damn.
Oh,
How do you walk?
my bad. My fat ass can't even stand in your land and not being in someone else's.
Man. All right. Well, that's number 6. You guys take a quick break on the side.
Oh yeah, dude. Wait, fuck, Jesus. This is a good list. It's all number 1. The content is fucking on point and it's cool as shit. It's a list that none of us have ever even thought of doing in the past. But number 2, the most interesting part is the Dan Evan Williams. God damn.
Yes, the Evan Williams bourbon.
The Evan Williams
consuming.
Boys, we need to do this every show.
Yes.
Unless you're hosting.
Yes.
Don't be like me.
Oh, God. Could you imagine me hosting? I want to talk to you about human evolution hammered out of my ass.
We got some comments about your paleoanthropology
Yeah,
episode.
we did. Some guy from like Idaho or something. His son's a paleoanthropologist.
I'll look up his name.
All about that
We'll
shit.
give him a shout out here in just a second. Just his first name. Because
I
that was really cool.
I like when we get real emails instead of the fake ones we make up.
I'd like to build your website. I'm a website designer. I'd like your business. Fuck off.
I help podcasts from wherever.
Yeah, that's the other big one.
Is Stan. All right, let's take a break. We will be right back in just a minute.
You never try if you have to, but you can't survive if they will let you. Will you hide away in a bedroom? Oh, is that really just what you used to? Oh, so you're putting some pictures, trying to make it a home, but it's a homely home if you're eating alone. You find yourself waiting on the ring of the phone, swearing to yourself that you're finding your own. Searching for your direction, but though you're reaching out to someone, only see your own reflection. Oh, still putting up pictures, trying to make it a home, but it's a homely home if you're sleeping alone. You find yourself waiting on the ring of the phone, and swearing to yourself that you're finding your own. Come on. Oh, it's such a lonely world, a world of inequality. Are we searching for a cure? Are we choosing to ignore? We're seeing more, hey, misery. So I'm a Branson. No, I've never been a man for gambling. Only I decide my fate. No, I'm sure nothing will ever change. Oh, so I'm taking down the pictures of my so-called home, where I was sure I would spend my whole life alone. Ain't nobody on the other end of the phone, but my misery is slowly turning into a song. Yeah. Oh, it's such a lonely world, a world of inequality. Well, are we searching for a cure? Well, are we choosing to ignore? We're seeing more, hey, misery.
And welcome back, guys. Nice little break. A little bit of Misery by Truphonic.
Dude, they don't get enough love on our show, and we really need to do something about that. I talked to Jake about going out and doing an interview sort of style, like back in the old school days of Living Vicariously when we would interview some bands in the area. But he's all down for it. He wants us to come in there and set up shop and do an interview and whatever. He's going to come on the show, if not have a couple of the guys on with him and do a little acoustic set for us in the future. Maybe it's a Patreon special that we promote with some video. But yeah, speaking of that, so we did have a couple of listeners have emailed us specifically asking about Truphonic, about the music that you hear, both as our intro music to the show that we play as an intro, an outro, and sometimes between segments in our break. And yeah, for the listeners, that's a band, a local Central Florida band here called Truphonic, spelled TRU, and then another word, PHONIC. Jake Salter is the lead singer, but he's not just the singer. He's a goddamn musical genius. He can play every instrument that is put in front of him. The guy seems to know how to master just immediately. Like he does. He can solo an entire show with loops and playbacks and stuff like that. But not to discredit the other members of the band, because they're all fucking amazing as well. But yeah, go check them out. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them on, I think they're on SoundCloud, but for sure on Bandcamp.
They're on Bandcamp. They're on Spotify.
Yeah, they're on Spotify as well.
That's how I listen.
My favorite song of theirs by far is City by the Sea. Now.
It's so... Me too. I mean, I've requested it for a break track. It's not even cheesy plug. It's in my normal rotation. It's in my party playlist because it's a good jam. It's a good bop.
He's going to allow something very special, and I don't mind saying this because they're okay with it.
Is it official?
It's official from him. I mean, we don't have like signed legal paperwork for it, but Jake and the guys at Truphonic are going to allow us in one of our episodes to release one of their like top songs, I guess their single, for their brand new album that's coming out. So We're going to get the debut premiere, international premiere for one of their new songs that are coming out. And these guys are fucking rock solid. They're really, really good. Cool. So we get to do that, which is kind of cool. I mean, it's humbling that he's going to use our platform for that. But yeah, so there's a couple of listeners that we want to shout out and say thanks to. Speaking, we were not going to say their last names or anything, but one of the guys that shot us an email was Brandon. He's asking about Truphonic. There's been multiple emails from our listeners about Truphonic. In fact, I think this guy I don't know who the person is that's in Discord right now listening to us live, but there's another listener that came to us, ironically, from one of our friends of the podcast, Clay Groves with the Fish Nerds. This guy's name is Tim. He just listened to Ron, believe it or not. He loved the Extinct Human Species episode. So he wanted to say a special thanks. We had some conversation back and forth on that. But he sent his son here this direction as well. But yeah, he really liked the Extinct Human Species show. I like that one too.
It was a bit of a niche episode, but I think it was good. Probably grabbed a few people.
You thought when you did that episode that you might not get a lot of feedback, or it might be very. That's one of the look for somebody to email us specifically saying that they enjoyed that topic. That's more than most episodes get.
That's true.
We don't really get messages to say, "Dude, that was a fucking great topic." I love. Well, this guy did. This guy Tim did.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, and the other guy. That you're talking about, who's in Discord right now, he has sent us multiple list ideas.
Oh, that's right.
He has been very participative. Is that a word? Did I make that up?
Participative? I think that's a word.
He has participated in just sending us lists, and one of them is I have called dibs on because we went back and forth, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Just shitty cars. I'm excited. But let's do a quick recap, yeah?
Did you have one listener that you wanted to?
Oh, yeah.
One message? Ron had one. He saw this was live. This is breaking news.
Now I have to find it. Give me a second. Got it right here. And here we go. Thank you for Ryan.
Don't say it.
No, I didn't. I wasn't going to.
We don't give out last names. Josh Wilson.
Christ. Ryan sent us an email here while we were actually doing the show. He came up with some ideas actually he came back with for other episodes and lists we could do. And he said this one came from hearing you talk about the siege at Waco in the Colts episode.
Yes.
Ding ding ding. Plug for our own show.
You take your pants off, I'll jerk you off. I'll take mine off, you jerk me.
Okay, sounds good.
Sound good? Okay.
Dutch rudder, huh?
Yeah. What is that called?
Dutch rudder.
The Dutch rudder.
Oh, okay. I've done it so many times I never knew it had a name. He has a top 10 government atrocities. God, how could we pick only 10?
Well, from what? Just the last 4 years, or
you know what? You actually did a very similar list, not American government atrocities, but you did. I forget exactly how you titled it, but it was the
human experiments.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is that what you meant, or did you mean something else?
No, your list that you did governments around the world that had done some things.
I played it at. Oh wait, spoiler alert.
Aha.
You're right. Governments around the world. Listen for the twist on that one.
I do want to shout out that though real quick. We had a past guest host, Jen Briney, hosted the top 10. This is U.S. based, I'm pretty sure. Government conspiracies, or government. Was it conspiracies? She hosts something called the Conservative Dish, is her podcast.
Yes,
and she came on and hosted an episode for us.
She has a cool logo. The logo on her. Yeah, it's like a. It's like somebody holding, let's say a butler was holding like a dish pan thing that has like the capital sitting on top of it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny that I always forget because she's like big into the podcasting world. Actually,
we absolutely love starting. We love the recommendations. We get a lot of those through either Facebook as a message as a message on there or direct emails to the show. We promise that we want to get to all of those requests, but I'll tell you the easiest way to fast track to a list, and I can guarantee that we will do it. Patreon.com/Twisted10. Twisted 10.
Right, though.
One of our tiers in there actually gets you pick your host out of the three of us that you enjoy the most, or you want to pick on the most, and you tell them what list you want them to do, and we liaison back and forth. So we coordinate with you, and we build that list for you, and we bring it, and it's brought to you by that listener, but it's, our normal group that comes in here and hosts these shows, so it'll be your list that we do as a regular Twisted 10. So go check out patreon.com/Twisted10. Check out those tiers. That's something that you can easily do with us.
Something I'm kind of disappointed on, and this is going to sound funny before you start number 5. We've never gotten an email saying one of us was fucking dumb. Fucking your voice annoys me. You guys suck.
Not true.
This show blows.
That's not true.
Where is that, man? That's when you know you've made it, when you get that email.
We got negative stars on iTunes, I think.
We've gotten some bad reviews. We've been called boring.
Yeah,
really?
We were called boring on iTunes.
I mean, we are
great content. Hosts are boring.
We are many things that are not great, but boring.
He's boring.
Yeah. Here, your review is boring. All right, go ahead.
Get him, Ron.
Get him. Oh, yeah.
So I'll do a quick recap.
All right.
So number 10 was Joshua's Room, the creepy under the stairs hidden child's room. Number 9 was Singer Castle, the New York Island castle that has the Scooby-Doo level pull back the paintings to watch your guests kind of trickery.
That's cool.
Number 8, the Winchester Mystery House. Number 7 was the Murder Castle, H.H. Holmes, the notorious American serial killer, the first notorious American serial killer, his hotel/murder parlor. And then number 6 was Dan Brown's house, the author, him and his fortress of gratitude and his secret tunnels and his writing room hidden behind a painting and
pretentious room. Just out of curiosity, in the next 5 somewhere, are we going to get Webster's rooms?
His dictionary?
Yeah. No. The show.
It's not on
Do you know
here.
what show I'm referring to?
I don't.
Oh. Do you remember? You remember Webster, don't you? The show from the 80s?
Yeah.
With, I don't remember his name, the actor's name, but the little kid named Webster.
Yes.
His house that he lived in had all of those secret passages behind their grandfather clock.
And I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's one of the coolest things about that show.
All right.
Well, it's a way to let me down.
Number 5.
Ooh, number 5.
5. High five.
Number 5 is French. Mont Saint-Odile. Saint-Odile? Something like that.
Sacré bleu.
Sacré bleu.
Sacré bleu.
So the castle itself, or the
no, you have to do the whole thing in a French accent.
I'm not.
Fuck you then. Fuck you then. Number 4.
The castle. It's the monastery. This one is actually a 17th century monastery. It is in the Vosges Mountains in France. So from 2000 to 2002, they had nearly 1,100 books and manuscripts, scrolls, etc., vanish from inside the monastery. And the monks could not figure it out. They eventually turned to the local police. Local police couldn't figure it out, so they installed cameras around the monastery to just...
Oh, so this is more modern. I'm thinking cameras in the 17th century. That's pretty fucking cool.
The monastery is 17th century.
Were they cameras without microphones? They don't need them. They're monks. Oh, that was such a horrible
That was a
joke.
reach. That was a reach. I'm laughing because it was so bad.
I'm laughing because he's laughing. Yes, look at that. It's infectious. So, what they ended up finding was that the book thief was using a long forgotten secret passage in and out of the monastery.
Oh, cool.
When they found it later, they found a very old manuscript that he had that showed the layout and showed this secret passage and chamber. So the story ends as far as the documents go, it ends well. They found the person, they found the room, they found everything. And it doesn't say whether or not the case ended up with any charges being filed, because the books, they were all recovered, but a significant portion of them were recovered in better condition. So he was taking them and
Restoring
doing
them?
high-level, skilled restoration work on them and just keeping them in his secret chamber in the monastery. So they found them all, and they're all back in the library. They're all in better condition.
Dude, that's like a movie that needs to be written. Like some disgruntled employee that is just there to keep the betterment of the historical documents of this monastery because he knows that the current management is letting it go to shit, and he stumbles across this ancient tablet or manuscript that tells him where the secret passage. Could you imagine being the investigator that's watching the video? It's like, nothing's happening. It's fast forward. What the fuck? Is that a wall moving? What is going on?
And the passageway as well, just as an interesting anecdote, it had no mechanism to open it from the outside, I'll say, like the room proper. So you had to know the secret entrance from the outside to get into the chamber, to go in through the secret passageway to use the secret mechanism. So the guy's name was Stanislas Gosse?
Stannis Baratheon?
I don't know. There is a lot of
Game of
vowels in
Thrones.
that name.
Oh, I got it. I got the reference.
But yeah, so he was a self-proclaimed literature lover. So Mont Saint-Odile, the monastery.
When you talk about being in a monastery, I have actually been in a convent. Been inside of a convent. I went to Catholic school. I was a really bad kid in, I think it was 4th grade.
I can see that. You're such a rebel.
I was a bad kid, and I think I pissed off Sister Helen.
God.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, a long time ago. But I pissed off Sister Helen so bad that she was so pissed at me that, like, during recess or something, she was going to call my parents. I don't know why she didn't just go to the office to do it, but instead she brought me in the convent.
What is that? Explain it to me. I know what the word is, but
where
what's
the nuns are, where the nuns stay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was at a Catholic school with a Catholic church, so it had wherever the priests are with the little boys, and then it had the.
Why didn't you go there?
I don't know, but
It wasn't bad enough.
That'd have been real torture.
Yeah,
Or maybe fun.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Then it had the convent with the nuns, and it was like super creepy. It was
Maybe that's why they took you there instead of the
so
office.
damn dark. Like the lighting it was in the middle of the day too. It was so dark in there. I just remember a big room with this long hallway that you couldn't even see to the end because everything was so dark you couldn't even see to the end. It was like, I'm like, oh my God.
Weird.
Yeah,
That's what
sorry.
they were going for.
Yeah, definitely. Just when you talked about a monastery for some reason, that memory, which
think
I hadn't thought about in years, popped into my head.
Josh, you realize what you did here? You had Ron do a repressed flashback on air.
Yes,
That's
it was a refreshed,
refreshed.
a repressed flashback.
Oh, man.
Let's have some more bourbon.
We're about to kill the bottle.
It's got
We really
maybe
are.
a finger or two left,
Yeah.
and we're done.
That's
Funny. That's the same thing
That's
the
a
priest said
pinky
about
finger.
you. Sorry, I don't mean to make fun of the sexual molestation of minors in the Catholic system.
Yeah,
because
you do.
Everybody, no, not because it's an insensitive subject,
you
but
do.
because it's a bad joke because everybody else makes fun of it.
One of the at the school I went to, one of the priests had to be moved on for that exact reason. Yep.
That's an interesting term. Moved on.
Was he suicided or was he put in prison?
He wasn't Clinton.
He was moved on to another.
Yeah.
Oh, so no
church.
punishment whatsoever.
This was
Got it.
prior to the Spotlight investigation, into the Boston blah blah blah. Anyway, story for another time. On to number 4.
Number 4.
4.
So number 4 is a much more exciting entry on the list.
I don't know. We got to molestation on the last one.
I know. We went down a pretty dark hole.
Yeah.
We got to
I see what you did there.
bump.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
Good job on that one.
We're going to hell.
Lord Wilson.
Oh, thank you. So number 4, are you guys familiar with Disney's Club 33?
Nope.
Just in general.
I know Disney World has a bunch of these hidden passageways, but it's like crew access tunnels.
So
to answer, make it short, no.
So Disney, which you're talking about, Disney World does have a full network of tunnels under their parks. All of the Disney parks do. And they're not a secret so much as, like you said, they're crew member tunnels, they're service tunnels. It's just so they can move things around the park without visually showing the logistics of the park to the customer, so they can just go and be in the fantasy land that they paid for.
We learned this on the Twisted Tid. One real quick side note. It's actually, that's the first floor. That's like the first level. The park and everything that you do when you're at Disney is technically on the second story, because you can't do tunnels really in Florida because of the water table.
It's like Westworld. All the cool shit underneath, and the park is on top.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I should go back and watch that. I watched the first episode.
Next season's supposed to be coming out soon.
I was I was actually referring to the movie, but the show's same thing.
So Disney's Club 33. Club 33 is not unique to our Disney World, not to our Magic Kingdom, but there are 4 of them. Magic Kingdom, Epcot, I actually have
probably Disneyland too, I imagine.
Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom, and Epcot. Magic Kingdom and Disney World are synonymous, so they're used interchangeably for everybody who doesn't live in Central Florida and have Disney shoved down their throat all the time. So Club 33 is invitation only. You cannot opt to join. You can request to be on the list. The list, nobody knows how long it really is, but it is believed to be decades long. They have a membership head count, and I think it's
so
kind of attrition.
Decades isn't a length, it's a time. Just saying.
Really? Would you call it a length of time?
No. I would call it a length of length.
No more. He's cut off. He's done. Stick a fork in him.
Decades? Okay, go ahead. Fine. Whatever you say, Lord Wilson.
I took it the way it was interpreted.
I knew what you meant.
You knew enough of what I meant to try and correct me and fail.
I wasn't trying to correct you. I was just trying to make a joke, and it really did not pay off. So we're moving on.
Well, we know Ron's joke limit for liquor.
We found it. It's 1 full bottle of Evan Williams. So Club 33, if you are invited, it starts with a $33,000 cost to join, and then it includes a $15,000 annual dues for the length that you hold it. Damn. It is very costly to be a member of Club 33, but it has a really neat history which ties into the secret spaces behind the whole thing. The club itself is really neat, but what you get when you are a member is access to a space in the park that has had less than 1,000 people ever go through it. And it's in, again, the 4 major parks here in Central Florida, but there's also Disneyland Tokyo has one. I don't think I didn't keep the other ones. Disneyland California has one. But it is, see, Disney had a realization early in building the park. He realized the level of investor that he's needing to operate the business in the way that he is trying to. It dictated a few social practices, I guess. He realized that type of investor is wanting to come out. They want to have dinner. They want to be treated real posh. They want drinks. They want entertainment. And that's what he created. Club 33.
So these are like A-class celebrities. These are like top-tier politicians.
Platinum. Yeah, these are
world's wealthiest people. That type of category is who's in this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because $33,000 a year and $33,000 initially, $15,000 a year isn't. I mean, I might be off by a couple bucks. Isn't that the regular cost of a ticket to Disney right now? Anyway, isn't. I mean,
realistically, that's like expensive country club type money. I mean, there's a lot of people that have.
I'm a member of a country club. I'm saying it ain't.
No, you're definitely not in that kind of country club.
I'm in a Titusville country club. It ain't like that.
But you get, as a member, not only access to the rooms called Club 33, you get some other stuff. You get Premier Passport for yourself, your spouse, and any children under 26. The basic Premier Passport perks, which are 365 days of admission to the park, no blackout dates, unlimited photo pass downloads. Those are they take your pictures around the park. You go in, they charge you like $15 for a 4x6. You get unlimited downloads of those, not prints, just downloads. And discounts on table service dining, merchandise, recreation, guided tours, 50 one-day park hopper tickets, 5-day-long VIP guided tours, an undisclosed number of instant fast pass reservations, which for anybody not familiar with that, an instant fast pass means you get the first possible time slot from the time that you put your name on the list.
Yeah.
So you just cut the lines, which is fine. If you pay $33,000 to go to Disney World, you can go in front of me.
And for people who haven't been to the theme parks before, when you're waiting for a roller coaster or for an event show or something like that, some of those lines, especially in peak seasons, non-COVID related times, you could be waiting in line for 3 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not an exaggeration. That's at the top end usually, but you could be standing out in the hot fucking Florida sun, baking your balls off with all the other upset and cranky tourists for 3 hours waiting for a 38-second roller coaster. Or whatever it happens to be.
We have a unique Disney advantage being so close to a park because we have access to a more practical annual pass. So you can go on an overcast, kind of drizzly Tuesday morning when you take the day off of work, and you can go in and not run into that. But yeah, peak of summer, going on the weekends, fuck that.
Yeah,
agreed. I am not a big fan of theme parks. Let me rephrase that. I love theme parks. I fucking hate theme park crowds. People they change when they go into a theme park. They become worse people, just in general. They're just
me included. I become worse
me too.
Yeah.
I am the worst to be around. End of the day,
if I'm standing in line at a grocery store to check out with my Publix subs and my sweet tea gallon of sweet tea, I'm not going to get upset by somebody accidentally bumping me in the butt with their cart. At Disney World, that's a knife to the neck.
Yeah.
All right. That's serious fighting words right there at Disney World.
Happiest place on earth, man.
Right.
And so the rest of that, you
love
also
Disney.
get...
We love Disney. We want you to sponsor our show. They'll never sponsor our show.
Please,
though.
Disney, don't sue us into oblivion. So you also get private concierge services when you're in the park, which is really nice.
Do I get to bang a Cinderella lookalike?
Yes, you do. His name is Bill. Yeah.
If he looks like Cinderella or at least as close, I'll go with it.
All right. That's good. Set that standard.
Billerella.
And the most important thing on the list, free standard parking.
You don't even get like VIP special area
standard parking. I don't get it. But so that's all the cool perks. The club itself is really
like $25,
really exclusive. Really, really posh. And when you go into Club 33, you don't pay for anything. You just eat and drink, and you're there. You
and
can,
be
you
merry.
Can go.
I want to have enough money in my life where $33,000 is not but a blink.
That I can
be
spend.
Our guest.
Put your family
Okay, we can't
to
sing
the
anymore.
test.
We're gonna get sued.
I was improv. I was changing up the lyrics. Could you do that?
Gotcha.
Isn't that what's that called?
I don't know the rule.
Parody. I was parodying it.
Let's not chance it with Disney.
Ron,
we'll chance it with anyone else, not Disney.
You have a good singing voice. Why don't you parody Be Our Guest, and we can edit it all together, mash it up, and
parody to like on what? Like, tell me, what do you want me to parody?
Sing the song and make up words. That's what he's saying.
No, I know what a parody is, ass clown. I mean, is there a specific theme or topic you would like me to create a parody using Be Our Guest around?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
Let me think about it. Yes,
Thanks.
I do. I would love to do this, but
Okay.
let me think about it. Listeners, if you have any ideas, hop on our Discord.
Absolutely. Anybody who listening, any topic you want, give me
careful.
the topic.
Careful.
I don't care.
Ron drunk is going to make some promises
Yeah,
that Ron sober is going to not like.
Give me like who the fuck came up with this idea?
You say anything, you're going to get some.
I will create. I will write.
White supremacy hate kind of lyrics somebody's going to send you.
I can't do something that I'm going to get shot for, but I will do whatever you want using the Be Our Guest.
Mark that. That's his.
I don't
that's
need
his
to mark
word.
it. It's on tape
That's his word.
because we're recording on tape.
And I will sing it live on the show.
Let's do it live.
Do it live.
All right, Josh. Sorry, buddy.
I know you're good. So
Wow, talk about a tangent.
So a lot of neat stuff about Club 33, but the space itself, the super exclusive space in the different parks, there is some really neat stuff. If you go down Main Street USA in Disney World here, there is a door for Club 33. You can walk up to the door. It's a fake door. It doesn't lead to anything, but you can go and it's great for like pictures, and it's the Club 33 door. The way you actually get into Club 33 is you go around the building and there's a special reader for your Club 33 access card, and you badge in and it opens a door that lets you enter. It's a secret entrance. Not secret, it's an unmarked entrance for Club 33 to go into this. And the pictures from it is just gorgeous. If you could imagine what Walt Disney's visionary room for the elite in the late 60s was, I mean, this is what it is. Like
crushed velvet carpet.
Yes, absolutely.
Really?
That's
like awesome.
The main room has got like stairs that flank first floor to second floor that flank around a one-story elevator that's all like gilded and wireframe, and it's very, very opulent. It's
opulent.
It's a good word too.
You are Mr. Big Word tonight.
I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
I can tell.
They are our sponsor now, by the way.
So I'm sorry. If you think you are in a position of affluence and finances to join Club 33, you can email club33@waltdisneyworld.com and request to be put on the list.
None of the people listening to the show.
We may have some sort of fancy highfalutin person out there. You never know.
Yes.
Look, rich people like to laugh too. But number three.
Number three
actually comes to us from Reddit. It's a story from a Reddit user, and there's a bunch of pictures that go with it as well. Reddit user Lumberjack, LMBRJACK. Thanks for giving us this juicy entry. So in 2014, Reddit user Lumberjack, he climbed into his attic he's going in his attic just to go up there, and he found a hidden door that led into a crawl space that further led to a locked door inside this crawl space. So hidden door, hidden hallway, locked door. When he got through the locked door,
house or apartment building, or like what are we talking here?
This is in his house. This is just in his just in his house. The space in his attic he had never noticed before, never came up. The room that he found, and of course we're talking A-frame in the attic, so small space, angled wall, but he found, I have the list of things right here. The walls, floor, and ceiling were completely covered in soundproofing board and plastic tarps.
Oh, this is not a good sign.
No. There were 4 power outlets, a small raised area roughly the size of a single bed, which this is a crawl space, so I guess. Also, inside the crawl space, he found a briefcase that was unmarked, an old jewelry box, envelopes with paper currency from all over the world, and 4 1-ounce silver ingots. There was also a Sentry safe, and that's significant because Sentry is a relatively recent company, Sentry. So a Sentry safe, you can buy them at Walmart, I think, but that means that this has been sometime in the past. I looked up how old Sentry was, and it was at most like 50 years old. Okay. Is how long this could have existed. Inside that safe, he found 6 VHSC tapes.
Oh, no.
He did not have a means to play them, so he turned them over to the authorities. When he later went back to request, hey, what was on them? Because I'm curious, they would not tell him. They refused to tell him what was on those tapes.
Really?
So there's no record. Oh, and one of the tapes on it, it said in Sharpie or black marker, it's just said no, a whole bunch. So no idea what was on the tapes, but this dude just found a fucking murder room in his attic.
Was there any follow through from the law enforcement to come because if there were some bad things on there, that would have been a crime scene at that point, even if it's 50 years old. Is there any comments on them coming to do investigation or anything?
There was no follow-up that I found. It was hard enough just tracking down a Reddit post from 2014, but getting on that post, he's got a bunch of pictures and stuff too. It looks exactly what you imagine a room with soundproofing and tarps on all surfaces looks like. It looks like just a fucking murder space. I don't. So again, nobody knows what was on those tapes, what was going on, but full of just jewelry and silver. And
Look, 2014 wasn't that long ago. I would know, but so my curiosity, and maybe I'm different than most people, like this guy did the right thing, I'm sure, by turning it into the authorities, because it probably sounds like it was leading to some kind of crime.
Obviously tied into something.
Honestly, if I looked at, all right, me personally, I would go on Amazon and order a player, or
100%.
I would
spend
hire
$12.
a local electrician or a tinkerer in the area to help me fabricate something that can play these tapes. I want to know what's on them. I who knows? You have no idea. It could have been like the map to One Eye Willie's treasure. You have no idea. Cooney's reference.
Could have been an alien autopsy.
Could have been an alien autopsy. See, there's and the no is like no. Look how many hearts the alien has. That could have been
no.
So maybe it was upside down. Maybe it's just on.
That's a good point.
I don't think so. Not if they didn't come back and the police wouldn't tell them what was on them. I don't know. It's just ominous and creepy.
Pretty cool though. Now,
crawl space.
Cool.
Have you crawled through your crawl space?
I've been in there. Yeah.
Do you have any secret doors?
If I did, I can't tell you. In fact, it actually really cool behind you. So the listeners, we're in one of the only Florida houses that has a basement, but we're in a basement. I have a crawl space that goes under the rest of the house because it's a raised house. Josh, that crawl space leads all the way around the backside of this foundation cement walls and all the way back around you. On the other side of you is hollow for like 15 feet. It's really bizarre. Yeah, it's super, super bizarre.
Weird.
I'm fucking with you. There's nothing. It's dirt.
I was like, I've been outside. That doesn't make sense. I'm not creeped out by it, but it's just, why the fuck is there dead space?
Excited.
Would be kind of cool though, wouldn't it? I've often thought about what it would take to extend this into, extra basement or extra. It's just so much money because it's so much land that has to move.
That's true.
This is foundation, so that's not something I can do. So
that's
no,
fine.
yes, I've been through the crawl space.
Sledgehammer. Let's not knock out your foundation.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Oh man. All right. So that was
creepy.
number 3. Reddit. Number 2. Number 2 is called Dunnerden. It's the Aspen home of Broderbund Software co-founder Doug Carlston. Now, if you're like me, that did not ring any immediate bells.
Nope.
However, what will ring your bell?
Ring my bell.
Is that he is the lead? He was the lead developer on the old games Myst.
Ooh,
you ever played the Myst
hell
games?
Yes.
Yeah, that's where, as soon as I read down his bio, I was like, oh, I played all of those.
Oh, so you're telling me the guy who was part of the lead developers of Myst has secret passages and shit?
He does. In fact, if you measure the secret passageways in his otherwise ordinary-looking log cabin, it is 1,700 feet of secret passages.
Holy shit.
Straight line, that's like walking 6 football fields. Just his cabin is riddled with hidden passageways. And they are, if you have played the old Myst games, like the things that he has in his house are like that. There's filing cabinets that conceal doors, dresser drawers that serve as entrances to ground passageways to other rooms. The bottom of the house is a labyrinth with treasure in it. He put treasure in his labyrinth and he lets people go and walk through his labyrinth to try and find treasure.
Cool.
He has one room in the labyrinth that is called the Room of Doom. Guests are directed to stand on a rocky ledge behind a waterfall. There are only 2 ways out of the Room of Doom: swim through a chute or jump through the waterfall and hope you land in the swimming pool. So it's a blind swim through a tunnel or swim through a tube, or jump through the waterfall that you can't see through.
What about just going back the way you came?
Apparently the door closes behind you. It's part of the gimmick. So it's
cool.
You go in and the door will close and you have,
I'm jumping.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I have to feel like the guy.
I want to do it too. Can I do it twice?
I don't think he's going to bring a lawsuit on himself, but you still have to blind jump through a waterfall to an unknown drop into the swimming pool on the other side, or not the swimming pool, but I guess it is a swimming pool. The moat around his property. So the creator of Myst has filled his house with football fields worth of secret tunnels and passageways. And what really I thought was so neat about it was the secret passageway just cool enough. What I loved is that they were built into otherwise innocuous things. I am just finding big words now, Ron.
I feel like you used innocuous earlier.
Did I?
I think you repeated it.
Maybe.
I believe so.
Repeated it.
I think I
feel like you repeated it. That's why I think it
Ron is
like
now
that.
to the point at the bar when he's drinking at the bar where he's just like contemplating life. He's slowed down.
I love you,
He's over
man.
the peak. Yep, exactly. He's over the peak. He's just like, yeah, man, this is great. This is
Yeah,
great.
bro. Fucking secret passageways, bro.
But I love that the entrances to his passageways weren't just the bookshelf entrance, which is cool as shit by itself, but he had a drawer.
Wait, way to go there. You knock on my idea for what I'm going to install for our bookshelf entrance.
You got to have the.
See what you're saying. See what you're doing over
God, you got to have
Those
like
are called
the
books.
lever.
No, the light. You know, the light that you pull down.
There's the not to tangent too much, but the carpenter that's doing our kitchen, who's going to do this secret passage Murphy door for us, showed me there's like 100 different mechanisms you can buy to act as the lever or the switch to include like biometrics. Like you could do biometric iris reader.
I know you got to like pull a book out.
So that's the obvious one. And yeah, there's multiple versions of that.
I don't want a biometric
There's hidden
reader.
buttons like where they would build in to the panel. You would have to know it's there because it sits flush behind like a ledge or a lip of part of the framing of the cabinet. You have to know exactly where it is. Feeling for it, you will not be able to feel for it. You just have to know where it is. You push it and that opens it up. So there's a couple of different mechanisms to go with, but yeah, dude, there's their roll list too. You know, in the movies, whenever you see a secret fireplace that moves out of the way, it's always easy to tell. Like they always say, oh, you can see the grooves on the floor where the wheels roll. Well, no, the one I'm installing is wheelless. It's on a hinge and only hinges at the base. And it's free floating, and then it locks back into place with trim. So you have no idea. It does not look like a Murphy or a hidden door or anything like that.
Why is it called a Murphy door? Or Murphy entrance?
I'm not Cliff Clavin tonight, buddy. I don't know the answer to that
I
one.
don't know, but they do call a lot of hidden furniture Murphy
beds,
Murphy beds,
yeah.
Murphy closets, Murphy. I
While
don't know
you-
why.
While you talk, I'm going to figure that one out.
Lay some knowledge on us while I jump into number one.
Wait. Number one, number two.
This was number two. Dunnerden was number two.
Oh, I must have lost
I'll
track.
do my recap for the 5.
Oh, yeah,
which
okay.
I'm supposed to do anyways. Number 5 since the break was Mont Saint Odile, which is the monastery.
Oh, good eye, Mike.
Number 4 is Disney World's Club 33. Number 3 was the Reddit users.
Oh, that's right,
Attic.
Lumberjack. Yeah, okay.
And then number 2 was Dunnerden, the Mist developers.
What a great game, too, by the way.
It was.
God.
While he looks that up, did you know there is another game that came out, current console, that is in the same vein with some of the original developers? It's called Abduction. It's like abduction with an O.
Really?
Yeah. So I actually played the Myst games with my mom. She loves them. So we played them a lot when
I
I
played
was
them
a
with
kid.
your mom too. Sorry.
Oh, burn.
So bad.
We have something to tell you, Josh. Oh, Josh.
Josh. No, I am your father.
So that means you owe my mom a dick ton of money.
Nah, you're past 18. Fuck off. I ain't paying.
That's how it works. I think that's how it works.
That's how it works for me.
All right.
I have the Murphy.
yeah, what makes it a Murphy thing?
Before we get to number one, yes.
Well, it comes from Murphy bed. So that's like the original thing. The bed is named for William Lawrence Murphy.
Oh, it was
who
a
would have
dude.
guessed that? Who applied for his first patents around 1900. According to legend, which means this is all bullshit from here on, he was wooing an opera singer, but living in a one-room apartment in San Francisco. And the moral code of the time frowned upon a woman entering a man's bedroom. So he had the bed hidden in the wall they could just bring down because he wanted this opera singer to come into his like studio apartment, but she couldn't come in if he had the bed in there because a woman can't come into a man's bedroom unless they're married.
I love the olden days. So to get around the moral obligation of not stepping into a man's bedroom, pulling a bed out of a wall is fair game. Like, oh, fuck it. We skirted the rules.
Really, he pulls the bed out of the wall to sleep in it. He keeps it in there to keep, that way she's not officially in his bedroom.
Oh, I see. I was looking at it dirty.
It was a workaround to get her in his apartment.
And we are good at those as dudes.
Yeah, we are good at this for sure.
I need to engineer a secret bed so you'll come over? Sure, give me 48 hours. I'll figure this shit out. You guys ready for number one?
Oh, yes.
Man, number one is called Glamis Castle. It is in Great Britain. Glamis Castle. Glamis Castle is over 1,000 years old at this point. It has a very sordid history.
You say it in Great Britain?
In Great Britain.
So this is Dark Ages.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
This goes back to the Dark Ages. The castle has a secret. Welcome back to the secret. The castle has a history. Being that old, that'll happen, but there has been plenty of people who have died there, at times in kind of gruesome ways. Men, women, children, unfortunately. But there is several recurring stories from the castle about the castle's secret. Nobody knows what the secret is anymore. So whatever the secret is still around. This castle is considered incredibly haunted, but the secret to why it's haunted, air quotes in studio, has only ever been allowed to be known by 3 people at any given time. So when the only people that were allowed to know was the Earl, the Earl's heir, and then an estate manager known as a factor.
Earl is a dignitary, like a noble person, right?
Yeah, a noble of some sort, or they controlled land, I think is what makes them an Earl, versus like a Duke or something. Or maybe it's the other way around. Dukes have land, Earls just have
Duke
leadership.
of Earl?
Dukes have Hazard. Okay.
Dukes of Hazard of Earl.
It was then when Josh sighed in a heavy voice. Sorry, imagine that and Jesse.
Not when we made jokes about banging his mom, but when we talked about Dukes of Hazard.
There's a quote that was written down by Clyde Bowes-Lyon, the 13th Earl of Strathmore, the last known person to know the secret of the castle. And there's a reason why he's the last known person. He said, if you could even guess the nature of this castle's secret, you would get down on your knees and thank God it was not yours. This is one of the last things he ever wrote down about the castle secret. The reason the secret fell into legend, fell into history, is because his heir, the 14th Earl, refused to partake in the ceremony that he had to go through before he could learn the secret. The ceremony, also secret, and what he learned about the history of the castle was after his ceremony is completed and he has shown his dedication to the castle, he could know. So the 13th Earl of Strathmore took the secret to his grave. The castle itself, riddled with full of secret rooms and passages and tunnels that lead out of the building. This one made number one because the castle has so many stories. I have a lot of this I'm pulling off. I've got Ancient Origins. There's a website that has a lot of this put together. So thanks to those guys. So the 14th Earl's heir refused, but
is this documented at all? So if I was to have enough money and go acquire this castle, is there any, I guess two-part question, is there any documentation that I'd be able to uncover that could illustrate the secret, whatever's so secretive about this castle, or could I do enough of my own, Indiana Jones level searching through this castle to figure the secret out for myself?
I would say that it's entirely possible. Castle still stands. It is still occupied by the descendants of the Byron Lyons family. I don't have it in front of me now. The Bowes-Lyon family.
Bowes-Lyon.
The descendants of the Bowes-Lyon family still own the castle. They still have their position. So I would say that it's theoretically possible.
Are there theories as to what the secret is?
So I'm sure there's plenty of theories, but I have some stories. Now these are of course going to step outside the natural bounds and into the more supernatural bounds. But the story of this castle was one of the greatest inspirations for Macbeth, the old playwright. So here we go.
Macbeth was a playwright or a play?
It was
by
play
William Shakespeare.
By William Shakespeare,
Oh,
the playwright.
tragedy.
You did it. You found one.
I'm not trying
I know.
purposely.
No, I know.
It's just so easy.
No, you accidentally burned him.
Yeah,
I see what you
it was
did
an
there.
accident. No, I was like thinking, I had a couple, so I was like, I thought Macbeth.
I almost choked on my Evan Williams right there.
Yeah. I got something you can choke on, buddy. Anyway,
Like a light tickle.
continuing on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
So King Malcolm II was murdered at the castle when it was a hunting lodge in 1034. So we're coming up on
Goddamn.
yeah 1,000 years for the original. The first murder story of the castle is estimated to be about 1,000 years ago. Macbeth. The protagonist lives in Glamis Castle, though King Macbeth had nothing to do with the character in the story. Trying to go down, I got some cool factoids. The Lion family took possession of the castle in 1376, and the first ghost that's reported to haunt the castle was that of Lady Janet Douglas. She was accused of poisoning her husband, the 6th Lord of Glamis, and was ultimately convicted of witchcraft in 1537. She was burned at the stake in Edinburgh. The spirit of Lady Janet is said to favor the castle's clock tower. But the real mystery is the castle's monster. There have been many sightings through history of a monster that have been around a particular hidden chamber. I guess it's not hidden so well, but around the same hidden chamber at the end of a corridor. More than one person has reported seeing a monster.
A supernatural monster of some
Yes.
kind?
No, a real fucking monster, Adam.
I've seen a
Jesus
Rottweiler that will
Christ.
make you shit your pants. So that's a monster to me.
That's not a monster. Your dick is a monster.
Well, all right. We'll go with that. That's good. We'll go with that.
You know, I feel like we should have listened to this show with the lights off, all creepy, right?
So
like You see that, dude? I'm over
take a
40.
nap.
Well, I'll be asleep. We've had
Between
some
the
Evan
booze.
Williams and lights
Yeah.
out. It's like I'm putting a cover on a bird cage.
So as the story goes, the monster of Glamis is a deformed, hairy, quote, human toad. Is always terrifying.
Oh, it's Chet from the Weird Science.
Weird science.
Do you remember?
but
You remember
the-
what I'm talking
no.
about?
I don't.
Oh, you mean when
have
he?
you ever seen Weird Science?
I have.
Oh,
You mean when Bill Paxton turns into that blob thing?
Yeah,
Gets turned into that blob thing.
he's a weird hairy toad man thing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool looking.
That's scary.
Maybe
as
it's based
fuck.
on Glamis.
It might. Maybe it is.
As the story goes, he was born into the family. He was an heir, but he was so frightful to behold that he was kept from public view.
Aw.
So he was believed to be a deformed
He was the elephant man.
monstrosity of some sort. But he was never seen outside of the family.
So it's like the story of Jason, the Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Wait, is that Freddy and Jason? Which one's Jason? Friday the 13th, right?
Friday the 13th.
Which one's
Jason. Freddy is Nightmare on Elm Street,
or Nightmare on
and
Elm
Mike
Street, yeah.
Myers is Halloween.
The most peculiar circumstance around the reporting of seeing the monster of the castle. It was a servant castle servant found a door that led to the long unfamiliar passageway, the long unknown passageway, as he described it. He walked in silence and he saw something at the far end that met the description of the myth. He left. He immediately went to the factor, the estate manager. He was immediately paid to migrate to Australia from Great Britain. He reported it. Him and his family were paid to leave the country and never come back.
Damn. Just because he saw this thing?
Because he reported seeing it. That was, I have a year on that one. Oh, I'm sorry. That was a reference to another article from 2012.
This happened in 2012?
No, that the article says so.
I know.
Here to read it was from Dash. I'm not sure what publication that is, but
I think
the mystery was told to the present writer some 60 years ago when he was a boy, and it made a great impression on him. The story was and is that in the castle of Glamis is a secret chamber. In this chamber is confined a monster who is the rightful heir to the title and property, but who is so unpresentable that it is necessary to keep him out of sight and out of possession.
This is a straight up Disney story. If some female kisses this frog, it turns him
Quasimodo.
it turns him into a prince, and he gets the castle. Holy shit! This is a cool story. We should write this down.
Beauty and the Beast.
Exactly, Beauty and the Beast here.
Here we go. The most prominently agreed upon theory on the origin of the monster is that he was the firstborn son of the 11th Earl Thomas Bowes-Lyon and his wife, Charlotte Bowes-Lyon. According to contemporary records, the first child was a son born and died 21 October 1821. Tied with what makes it so mythological, so fantastic, is the theory that being so deformed and visually unappealing, that they faked his death and hid him away.
So is the story now that he's dead and haunts the castle? Is that the story at this point? Or is he just really 1,000 years old?
Well, since I'm not a big fan of believing in monsters
or ghosts,
I would land it somewhere as probably, if you believe the Loch Ness monster is real, then he's probably still alive in the castle. That's how I'm going to answer that. But either way, the myth and mystery surrounding this 1,000-year castle and ghosts and hidden rooms and secret torture chambers, and
that's interesting.
Glamis Castle. And honestly, it's obviously, like, as I mentioned, it's still standing. It's in Scotland. It's in Angus, Aberdeenshire, Scotland, United Kingdom. Glamis Castle near Forfar, Angus. I don't know anything about the geography of Scotland, so that doesn't help me, but I know it's the north side of the island.
That's pretty cool.
It is a stereotypical medieval castle with just ramparts and towers and spires, and it's, I don't know, worth visiting one day.
I'm gonna have to look that up. I want to see a picture of what the people have displayed him to look like, this monster.
Remind me,
cool.
After it ends, I'll show you. I have this article is full of pictures.
Okay,
but yeah,
fucking good list, dude.
Secret rooms and spaces around the world.
A couple of those topics have been very, very deep dived on other shows and other, as we say on the Twisted 10, any of this list can have a 5-hour, story about each one of these things. In this case, that's very, very true here.
Yeah.
The H.H. Holmes one especially, man, that is such a cool, that whole story is cool. No, dude, that's a cool list. I would have never, like Ron said this earlier, I would have never thought to even go this route, like the top 10 secret locations. Like, I've sometimes gotten, I don't want to say lazy, but looking for inspiration. I'll go out there and look to see what some popular top 10 lists are, maybe to draw inspiration, not steal their content, but to angle the direction I wanted to go for a list of some kind. I've never seen anything like this, even remotely close to this. So that's really cool.
Good about it.
Yeah, man, that's an awesome list.
Well, before we go into our closeout of the show, I just want to extend our usual thanks to our patrons for supporting the show. If you're interested in that and the exclusive Patreon after show, the exclusive Patreon show called The After Show, find that patreon.com/twisted10. And for those of you hanging out on Discord in the live stream right now, thank you for hanging out. Had a lot of fun on the break bullshitting with you guys. If you want to hang out for that, twisted10.com. There'll be a bar at the bottom. It says join Discord, and that'll dump you right in to get set up and come hang out. Come say hey.
For sure. And we'll plug anything you want us to plug on air for another bottle of Evan Williams or Johnny Walker Blue, especially. You sent me some Johnny Walker Blue to the house for us to drink on air. And you got yourself at least a good couple of shows worth of advertisements. How about that? Let's go with that.
That's true.
Is it good, boys?
That's actually, it's a good, I'll use this opportunity. If you are here and you think you might be interested in sponsoring the show, so we have a more formal ad forthcoming, but we are looking for an equipment sponsor for the show. We work really hard to get really good audio with the equipment that we have, but for us to really grow and take this show to the next level, we're looking at some new equipment, new mixer, new microphones. We have a wish list that's anywhere from $600 to $5,000. So, if you're looking maybe an equipment level sponsorship, and we'll of course give you right time, get you an ad spot where maybe in the middle of the show where we play some Truphonic, we can get a nice minute-long ad for you in there, 30-second ad in there. Just, let's talk. We're just looking to bring on an equipment sponsor. Or
hell, come in and guest on the show with us, too.
Yeah, definitely. Or both. Yeah, it's...
If we have a sponsor that's willing to do some equipment for us, like as an example, listeners, there's a microphone that's kind of an industry standard for a podcast and a radio style, any kind of spoken voice, not just radio DJs in the middle of music. It's a Shure SM7B. That's a $500 microphone or $450, something like that. And obviously there's three of us in here as the show hosts, and we have a fourth mic for guests, and we always want to spare. So 5 mics at, $500 a piece. You do the math. That's a lot of money. So yeah, Josh is spot on. The sponsorship we're not in it just for the money, because we making a lot of money on this show, right, boys?
So much, yeah. This is what
right?
This is how we pay all of our bills.
I mean,
our family's bills, my mom's
Ron,
bills.
how did you afford that $14 bottle of Evan Williams?
It wasn't on this show.
Oh, it wasn't. Oh, okay. So we put our own money as well as our Patreon money. Would thank you again for Patreon money that is coming into the show. We put our own money and that in to purchasing the equipment and to keeping the lights on in the studio. But we do want to make the show,
which would mean the lights on in your house.
Smoke and mirrors. We do want the listeners to know that we aren't just looking to earn money to line our pockets here. We do want to improve the show, bring additional things like the cameras in the studio, get live stream going, that type of stuff. So that's all included in that too.
What Adam is saying is if you want his children to be able to eat and have heat and light in the house, please give us money.
Will that work?
Okay.
Can we tugging on those heartstrings? You think that'll work?
They're cute,
I just made a hand motion of tugging on a heartstring like I'm
milking a cow.
I'm yanking on some udders.
Tugging on those heartstrings. Tugging on those cow udders.
Oh, good call though, Josh. Yeah, that's definitely something we'll be looking at in the future. So yeah, we'll have to work on that, put the official ad together for that.
You just got to record it. Really.
Yeah. It's a lot of work after a bottle of Evan Williams. So we polished it off, boys and girls.
We did.
We really...
There's a finger or two left there.
Oh, here, I'll take care of that here in just a second. We still have the after show to go. So
yeah, you're actually at the house where you get to just go stumble up to your room and crash out.
I'm not complaining. You're 100% right about that.
Yeah.
Oh, and here's a big, this is... I would normally save this for the after show, but I have a problem snoring. All right, so I've got, maybe a little weight, maybe a little sinus issue, whatever. I snore. And my wife has had our baby, our youngest. She's only 9 months at this point, but she's been having her in the bassinet in the crib beside her bed. With my snoring, I would always wake her up. So for the past, 9 months, I've been sleeping in a different room than my wife. And that's been, it's fine. Me and my wife are great together. However, that's not the most ideal situation for a husband and a wife. But we've now built...
Why?
It's because I kept waking up the babies.
No. Oh. Why is it not ideal?
Some husbands and wives love that idea.
I want to get into the detail of why that's not ideal.
I'm a misogynist 50s husband, so I choose a separate room on purpose. No, I'm kidding. No, it's just for the kids. But we've now carved out that separate space. So now we have a nursery for both babies. They each have their own nursery. Adam's in bed again, if you know what I mean. I get to sleep.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Can you please... specify what it is you're trying to reference.
I really don't know where I was going with this story, Josh.
I don't either.
Does it have anything to do with the stuff I did with Josh's
But I'm glad
mom?
you get to sleep in your own bed again. That's exciting.
Oh, that was really it. Okay,
that's where you were going.
You circled it back perfectly, yes. So I get to go upstairs and hop in bed with the wife.
Thanks, Lord Wilson.
Just holding it together.
Oh, that was a long way to go for... All right, Josh, you're the soberest of the three. You close out the rest of the show, buddy. It's all you.
Why were you even telling us that story?
Right.
What that have to do with people giving us money?
Hey, let's just break it.
Good question.
Let's break it. Let's call it, guys.
You got quiet when you get drunk. I just get over, I guess, sharing.
Yes.
Well,
good share.
It has been a lot of fun this evening. I hope you
Has it really?
I hope you will enjoy us and join us next week. I hope you've enjoyed the show enough. You'll join us next week. From the Twisted 10, I'm Lord Josh. Sitting across from me,
I'm Adam.
And I'm Ron, baby.
Catch you guys next week.
Baby.